So my brother decided to get a hamster for his birthday, and after my parents prohibited me from genetically or cybernetically modifying it, I deemed its existence of making its surroundings smell like pee every so often unacceptably useless. So what did I do? Exploit it for energy production, of course. Because you see, even though my brother's previous hamster barely used the wheel at all, this one has really taken a liking for it. And I know this because unfortunately the wheel is squeaky and we spend all night hearing this. So with the thing inevitably in my mind, I remembered I once saw a cartoon where they powered some evil machine with a hamster in a wheel. Although it was a bit of a Mandela effect because I managed to track down the episode and it was actually a squirrel, but anyway. I thought it would be really cool if I could give a purpose to all that energy my hamster was expending, and for good reason because it does not make physical sense how much food it consumes, by using it to, say, charge my phone. So, as you know, when you supply electricity to a motor, it spins. And as you might also know, the opposite is true as well. If you spin a motor, electricity will come out from its terminals. And that's what we call a turbine, and we use it to generate most of humanity's electrical power. So at first sight, it should be really easy to extract electricity from a hamster wheel. Just connect a motor to it and plug in your phone, right? And no. First of all, you of course can't charge a phone with two wires, so you'll need something to convert that to USB. But even if you did, say you have one of these common 5-volt DC motors. Unless you spun that at over 10,000 RPM, you wouldn't even reach the standard 15 watts charging speed. So forget about quick charging. And the motor would probably melt before that anyway. Therefore, you probably want to store energy in a battery to release a correct current. Except batteries are also picky about how you charge them. In fact, to even get it to charge, you'll need to supply a voltage higher than what it's at. And voltage depends on spinning speed, so we're back to square one. Doesn't seem so easy now, does it? So I got researching, and after a while I finally had a plan. The core of my device would be what we call an energy harvester module. These modules basically work by taking whatever tiny amount of power you give them and dynamically stepping up the voltage to an acceptable one for charging a battery, supercapacitor or whatever. And the best and cheapest module I could find was the CGMCU 2557, based on Texas Instruments BQ25570 chip. And this module works wonders for this kind of project. First of all, every harvester needs at least some voltage, what we call the cold start voltage, to be able to operate and, well, harvest the voltage. And the CGMCU 2557's is only 330 millivolts. After that, it can take sources as low as 100 millivolts and use them to charge a lithium-ion cell by using maximum power point tracking, or MPPT, which is very common for this type of power extraction. Basically, when charging a battery, you want to give it a voltage higher than its own at as high a current as possible. However, you'll need to increase that voltage as the battery charges and its voltage increases. Really, this is what any lithium-ion charger will do. However, for dynamic sources of energy like solar panels, wind turbines or, well, hamster wheels, the input voltage is changing constantly. If it's way over the battery voltage, it'll still charge it, but you could get more power into it by supplying a lower voltage, just enough to charge it, at a higher current. And this is what an MPPT does. It tracks that maximum power point dynamically, adjusting its voltage and current periodically, so you get as much use out of your energy source as possible. This board even offers a 2 to 5.5 volt programmable output, so you don't even need to connect your devices to the battery itself. Although it turned out this output was 110 amps max, not enough to charge a phone, so I wouldn't be able to use this function. That meant I needed a USB boost module, so I just got this cheap, simple one off AliExpress as well. Hey, at least I got free shipping. Now, as for the battery, if you expect me to have lithium-ion cells just lying around, you'd be right. You see, my brother found this broken electric scooter and took it to the repair shop in case they could fix it. They said they couldn't because the battery was broken, so of course I decided to disassemble the entire thing and salvage the living heck out of it, including, take this, 40 lithium-ion cells packed into this huge case, which was a pain in the neck to open up. And the best part, every single cell was perfectly fine. All that was missing was the actual motor. As the voltage produced will depend on the motor's rated voltage, I decided to use this 20-volt motor from that Roomba I took apart instead of a standard 5-volt one. And that is how you harvest energy from your hamster. While the parts came, I designed an adapter to place the wheel on the motor's axis, and once they arrived, I started assembling my device. I wired everything up, soldered the pins like a pro, and to connect both the CGM-CU2557 and the USB boost module to the battery, I had to think a bit out of the box. I spot welded some nickel strips to its terminals, drilled holes into them, and then connected all the cables with screw crimps, and it turned out great. Well, that's better. Now all that was left was to place the motor and wheel back into the cage, connect my device to it, and wait for the hamster to do its job. Alright, so it's been a day, and it's been running in that wheel for the entire night. It's supposed to be nocturnal, but I'm starting to think it never sleeps. It's awake right now. But anyway, let's test this. So let's plug in a little USB cable. There we go. And now, if we plug in our phone, there we go! Hamster power! Fake YouTubers take the cable from somewhere else to make it look like it's charging, but here's the full picture so you know it's real. However, the charging wasn't very fast, so to find out where my bottleneck was, I whipped out my brand new thermal imaging multimeter. This is the DDM120P from FNIRSI. I've actually bought stuff from them in the past as they have premium quality measurement devices for amazingly cheap, and this one certainly didn't disappoint. Like, look at how cool this is. I can see temperatures from -20 to 400 degrees Celsius and even give myself night vision. But more pragmatically, I was able to figure out that my crusty old cable was heating up near the end. And when I replaced it with a newer one, it charged much faster. And not only can you spot inefficiencies and overheating in electrical circuits, but it's also a multimeter that's actually better than the dedicated multimeter I had. You can get it, as well as a whole bunch of other great tools, over at the link in the description. And if you use the code FLAMETHROWER, you'll even get an extra discount. You'll also be supporting my channel, so I can keep making cool projects like this one. And with that, my hamster's life finally has a purpose. It was a really fun little project to make, and if you liked it too, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Also make sure you set the bell to all, as YouTube seems to have hidden my videos even for my subscribers lately. That's it, my last video, the one about my shade packer, absolutely blew up! All those likes and comments really helped, and I'm so grateful to you guys. I appreciate all the contributions to the repo, and in fact, seeing such a big and knowledgeable audience, I had an idea. How about we all try to optimize it to the absolute maximum? If you know a faster programming language, maybe, I don't know, assembly, or if you would know how to port it to GPU, maybe give it a shot and send it to the GitHub. Finally, thanks so much for all the donations. Those help a lot in funding my projects. So far I only had coffee, but some of you said you preferred Patreon, so I made one. For now I don't really have any perks I could offer, so think of it as just a donation, and only do it if you simply want to help fund me and if it really is no problem for you. All the links are in the channel bio. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.